Hi, welcome to another episode of ISN Talks. Aura, what the heck are we talking about today?
Well, before that, we should probably talk about our not really sponsors and something that should be sponsored, Honey Butter Nuts.
Hey look, even if they don't sponsor us, just go buy this stuff, alright?
Right?
This stuff's amazing. Nick already ate his bag, so he doesn't have to want to show off, but...
This is my second bag. I don't know what you guys talking about.
This is my second bag, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have faith, so I only ordered one bag. I need to refill my stock.
Okay.
But yeah, definitely go check this out. It's like #1 in Korea right now, for good reason.
I believe it. Like, when I was told that, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, that's marketing, and then I tried my first piece, I'm like, bruh.
Like, yeah, now it makes sense, right?
I'm a believer. Fuck, damn it, I need to put this away because I'm gonna eat the whole bag.
Wait, now I have to edit it. I hate you.
Yeah, this is what honey butter does. Yeah, just leave it in the back like that. It's perfect.
I just leave it right there. Well, you can't see it on this camera, but these guys can.
Yeah.
So.
I threw mine over there so I can't touch it. But yeah.
Right.
So, Aura, you're the one who first brought up this topic. Which is...
So, this topic is... So, we've talked about a lot about whether we like certain music videos, certain songs, especially within the first week.
Mm-hmm.
So, since those released up to this point, were there any songs that, like, you had a positive, like, interest initially and changed to a negative, or vice versa? Have you had a song that you didn't like initially, but now you actually really do like?
Yeah, I think definitely all of us have those songs. So like the unfortunate part about like recording these weekly, and because we have to get them out on a timely manner, because we have to get them out while songs are being watched and like while they're relevant. We can't talk about songs from like 2015. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes we get so busy during the week that we only have a chance to actually watch them before we get to recording.
Yeah.
So it's like a very fresh reaction. Like
and
15 minutes old.
And on top of that, we only get a week to listen to it maximum.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know.
And so I mean, granted, we release our videos a week after recording to finish like everything.
Yeah, for processing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's like a lot of our reactions. Definitely, it can change as you like listen to it.
Yeah.
So I think we definitely have a lot to talk about here. One that I've talked about before personally, that I didn't like originally, and I like it now, as much as you guys don't like the song, is Cards Dumb Liddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As I listen to it, and like I know I give a negative review on our video, but like, as I've listened to it, I really like it. It's kind of like that kind of guilty pleasure, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I thought for that episode that we recorded on it, I thought like on the day of recording, you were like, so you guys remember when I first said like I wasn't really down for this, and then now I'm kind of like digging it.
No, it was like a week or two after.
Yeah. I think legitimately in the video I did not like it.
Yeah.
I think that episode's like already been a full year now.
Yeah, somewhere around there. And I mean, I still listen to the song.
Wow.
Another song that I really liked, and it's funny, a song that I really liked, and I like it much more now. I don't know how, but as I've listened to it, it's gotten better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is Hands Up.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I was very neutral to that song.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it from the get-go.
It was a good song, but as I've listened to it, I've liked it a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
I think I gave some pretty good reviews on it after our initial, but again, like it was after a long work week.
Yeah.
So and that's another thing too. Like I've noticed, our moods will play a big part.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
How we receive, because like. And so that's why for myself too, I try to check out the songs as soon as possible.
Right.
But then a lot of the times, a lot of the times it's like when I'm after work, I just got home from work and I'm tired,
Right.
or I haven't slept, so
Yeah,
I'm tired.
and sometimes there's just quite literally too much music in the week to listen to. You know,
Right.
if we have a really, really,
Bro.
really active week, quite literally, it can be like, because we intake so much. Like we're definitely in the top 1% of people that intake, K-pop,
Like,
Yep.
and on top of that, we talk about probably 50% at most
no,
of what we actually have
dude,
to listen to.
So on average, we talk about maybe at most 5 to 6 songs, but at minimum
Yeah.
3 to 4 songs. And there have been weeks where they were like 10,
Like 15 or
10,
20.
15
Yeah,
songs.
especially in the Nugu world, right? Because
Yeah.
the songs aren't planned comebacks. Like, so like you, especially like in this Nugu solo artist world, you could get like random songs just popping up here and there.
Yep. Or even just like because we like to mix it up too with non idols, like the traditional like artists.
Yeah,
Right.
We have a lot. We typically feature at least one of those
usually.
on each episode.
Oh.
And
Well, okay, so sometimes we do more, especially when BB's involved, thanks to these two.
bruh,
Bro,
Bruh.
BB. It's
BB,
BB
alright.
though. Anyway,
BB or IU. We've done.
it's IU.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. IU is. But
Like, so I think definitely like this is gonna be a throwback, but a group that I did not like until like a couple years ago, like 2017, 2018, was HOT.
bruh, and they like debuted before you were even born.
I know they legitimately debuted before I was even born.
They disbanded before you even born.
Did they?
Yeah, like 2001, I think, or 2000.
I was born in '98.
yeah. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 22.
Oh wait, yeah, you're 22. Wait, my math is wrong. But
I was
bro,
like, wait a second. I'm pretty
Bro,
sure he was born. I'm pretty sure he was
Yeah.
born.
yeah,
Yeah. No, yeah, but
For
they
some reason, I'm
I'm
like
pretty sure they
thinking so
debuted in
far
'96.
yeah, they debuted in '96.
Way
And
before Nick got into all this K-pop stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that was like, yeah, because that's like 15 years before I was into K-pop, and so I mean, I'm like,
He was into that lullaby music.
in '96 I wasn't even born.
yeah, he wasn't even born. He wasn't even a thought.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So, but like a couple years ago, I got into HOT, and so I'm really liking HOT. But when I first listened to HOT, I did not like it whatsoever. 'Cause
Well, I mean, I totally get it though, because like it's like generation so far removed.
yeah, I mean, it's like an acquired taste. Like as you learn more about Gen 1, you come to appreciate Gen 1. You know?
Like there's a lot of cringe stuff from Gen 1.
Oh,
like, a lot.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's got to be Black Cat from Turbo. Nero, Nero.
Oh man.
Yeah, like, so when it comes to you and HOT, I feel it. I was like, what is this song? And I watched it on Running Man, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot of Gen 1 I didn't like originally. And then I came to like Chakra, stuff like that.
Right.
And even some Gen 2 I didn't like originally. When I got into K-pop, I didn't like 4 Minute. Like I was basically at that time I was a solo 21 stan.
Yeah.
I was just
yeah.
a blackjack. That's it.
And now look at you now.
And now look at me. Now I'm a masochist.
Mask stands all the new groups.
Yeah.
I'm a K-pop hipster.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Aura? I know you've had a lot of songs that you were neutral towards, or even didn't like altogether. Like, out of me and Nick and you, like out of the three of us, you probably got like are the most have like the most negative responses or neutral.
Well, yeah, he hates K-pop.
I do not hate K-pop. Okay.
You just prefer music from the Han Dynasty. We get it. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
Han Dynasty line.
Unfortunately for him, they don't even have recordings from back then.
I know.
Okay, I kind of would love to hear recordings from then, but that's besides the point.
Cause it'll remind you of home. We get it.
Yeah, of his childhood, especially. Man,
I'm literally gonna be for anybody listening. You're probably gonna end up calling me Han Dynasty or something like thanks to these guys. Okay, we'll be walking down if we meet. The three of us are walking down the street. It'll be, look, it's the masochist. Oh, look, it's Han Dynasty. And then Jihoon doesn't got anything, I don't think.
He's the normie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm the filthy casual.
Filthy casual. But there's, we don't call you that enough to make it stick.
No, it just really stuck out to me, like when Nick first said something along those lines when he described my taste. I'm like, yeah,
because at the time you were only talking about like very, very big groups. You know, you were talking about ISN. Oh my girl.
Oh my girl wasn't even that big yet at the time.
So
I mean, yeah.
I will say that while I still do not like the lyrics, Vampire has actually been really sticking out. Like, if I don't pay attention to what the lyrics are and just to how it sounds, I'm not turned off by it anymore. Like
no one says anything.
I think that's like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, I think it is, to be honest.
And then the other would be Twice's Fake and True. I know we didn't have a very high, at least from my memory, Jihoon and I didn't have a high opinion of it at first.
I don't know if I did or not.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure you didn't like it for much of the same reason of like why we didn't like Buenos Aires or Vampire.
Yeah.
That seems about right for me.
It's Twice and not as one.
Yeah. But no, for me, Fake and True definitely has started like randomly popping into my head sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I guess
it's J-pop, so
that's true. It's not K-pop, so he likes it.
Yeah. And then ITZY's. I feel bad because I can't remember their initial song.
Dollar.
Yeah, Dollar. That one's. Mm-hmm. I've actually had a change of opinion in that song too. Like, I will say that it's still not my style, but I can also catch myself listening to it from time to time.
Yeah, I can understand that. I'm the same way about Everglow's Dun Dun. I like Dun Dun a lot. I don't know if I like that, and Adios too.
Dun Dun was that their comeback or
that's their
debut?
That was their most recent comeback.
Yeah, because Adios was their first comeback. So like with Everglow, I didn't like Bon Bon Chocolat. I liked Adios, but Dun Dun I like so far out of like all their releases. Mm-hmm. Dun Dun's been my favorite from Everglow. So.
What's kind of cool about Everglow as well is, or in my opinion, is their B-sides are really good. Mm-hmm. Like they have two on their last mini album, Reminiscence.
Right.
Mini album, solo album, one of the two, but or single album, I don't know. But they have two tracks on there that I really like as well. And I think I play those more than I played Dun Dun, which is funny because it's the title.
Yeah. I mean, like usually the title track, the purpose is just kind of, it's supposed to be like the most hype track, and at the same time showcase like what the overall character and feel of the album's supposed to be like. So,
yeah, that's true.
Unless you're Red Velvet, like Red Velvet's their title tracks and their actual B-sides, just like. There's no telling what you're gonna get for B-sides with Red Velvet. They do They do so many different styles. So.
So I will catch myself, because when it comes to Everglow, I will catch myself automatically like playing Bon Bon Chocolat. I can't remember what my initial reaction to that song was. I'm not sure if it was a positive one, but I catch myself every time I hear Everglow's name, it's Bon Bon Chocolate just starts playing in my head. I'm like, oh jeez.
To my recollection, I think I was the only one who had a negative opinion on it.
Okay.
So you're at least neutral on it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, neutral for Aura is liking it. So
yeah, that's about as much like.
Yeah, that's true. Unless there's an AKB member in said group, then
it's automatic.
Then it's
hard
automatically
stand.
like yeah.
Great, I'm
Say
being
we're wrong.
typecasted.
Say we're wrong.
There is no AKB member in SNSD or in Twice.
But SNSD has the AKB connection. So
Okay, SNSD.
And Twice is
not
three
Twice.
Japanese members.
Yeah.
true. Twice is two
And
Japanese
also,
members.
your Twice bias is one of the Japanese members.
Yep,
Got him.
got him.
G-Idol.
What? So anyway, before he tries to validate himself here,
I'm trying to save myself in any way possible, okay?
June, has any song came to your mind that?
I mean, not that I've already talked about. I already talked about like Mamamoo's Google Baby and
Oh yeah.
Moonbyo's or not Moonbyo, Plaza's Twit. So,
Okay.
but although with Goku Baby, I think I was more neutral on that because it just wasn't my style at the time. Like, those were like in my more of my mood at the time.
Yeah.
Same with Twit. Not very negative. But like I don't know, somewhere in between, like neutral. So
One song I don't remember my initial reaction, but I think I liked it. From Its Ninth Fun.
bro, you were so offended.
I was
so offended by my reaction to it.
and honestly now it's okay.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, like, you have to understand that they were trying to follow up off of Love Bomb,
Right.
and Love Bomb was basically like their breakout hit for them.
Yeah, and it was about as close as they could get to like almost a Crush style.
Yeah,
Because like at that time, like a lot of groups were going toward the Crush style. So
and so, but now that I've listened to Love Bomb and like Fun and Dugu Dugun and all like their discography, Fun is, in my opinion, a really weak song.
yeah,
I think you said it in our video, but it feels a lot like an advertisement.
like it's the way it sounds. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like it definitely sounds like something you would hear for a commercial jingle, either on TV or when you're shopping in those grocery store. Well, actually, in the American grocery store, they don't play musical jingles like
They don't play music
does.
like that.
Yeah, Japan does though. Japan's grocery stores gets very kind of greedy with that.
If someone is watching overseas, we've just blown their mind.
Yeah,
No, like, because like America doesn't play that. Other than that, I mean, Aces Take Me Higher. I don't think we talked about it because I think that was before.
I don't think
you mentioned it. You had mentioned it in one of your first couple episodes as part of the quiz.
Yeah, originally when I first listened to it, I didn't like it, but it's grown on me as Ace has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of a whole lot. I mean, most of the stuff that I didn't like, that I like now, is just kind of changing times.
Yeah.
Also, as foreigners have become a lot more present in K-pop, I've shifted tastes as well, like to more accepting like styles, I guess. Because now we see now most of K-pop is fusions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But go back to Gen 2, and it wasn't exactly like that.
Yeah, it wasn't towards the end of Gen 2, right? That fusions, like they experimented with fusion before, but fusion is now like the norm.
Yeah. I mean,
unless like outside of ballads, everything is basically like a fusion of something.
yeah.
So.
I mean, there are still plenty of Gen 2 songs that are really good. But you know, we've talked about this before, but like some songs haven't aged well.
Yeah, I was about to. So when you brought that up, like that got my mind going. I'm like, yeah. I mean, I guess for things that like my mind have changed on, like that'd be like the biggest thing really is when a song starts to become outdated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is a song that probably wouldn't ever get outdated, and I still like it. It's "I Got a Boy," you know. That's one of the songs that got me introduced.
It's so outdated.
Yeah, I totally
so
disagree
outdated.
on that. I totally disagree. It is. Yeah. I mean,
I think it is your nostalgia that is holding you to that one.
Because I distinctly remember when the song first came out. Like you gotta remember too. At that time, I was still a super hard stand on SNSD. Like Girls' Generation was still my old group at the time,
Right.
and so like I still enjoyed it. But I remember even when I first heard it, I'm like, man, this song is already sounds outdated at the time like it released. So because that sound was already prominent in American pop at the time. So or prior in American pop prior to.
Yeah, it very much felt like it was early 90s American pop. But
I placed it more at like early 2000s.
really?
Yeah, because well, so that's like for the feel, like yes, the especially with the visual aesthetics, that was very very like 90s feeling. But for the actual song itself, the song itself featured a lot of early to mid 2000s. So it already felt like outdated to me when I first heard it.
That also reminded me. I don't think I've ever told you guys this. When like G-Friend debuted and like the kind of pure innocent concepts were coming into play.
Yeah.
I did not. I hated it. I was like, no, don't.
Because like that's a concept that is just so out of place in American music.
Yeah, that's like a concept because like in American music, you just don't do that.
You don't. Yeah, you don't. You don't. Everything in American music is pretty more on the mature side, and if they do something cutesy, it's because they're doing it as like to poke fun at something, like a parody.
Yeah, especially you know when G-Friend debuted, they were about like the school concept, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
And in America, it's all about forgetting the time you were in school.
Yeah,
like you don't want to remember that.
Or if they do something with the school concept, it's very sexualized.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm thinking of like Britney Spears when she first debuted.
Yeah, and
she had this. Oh man.
I remember
Britney Spears very well, dude.
I remember I did not like that concept in the slightest, and I was like, I don't like this. It's not for me. And it's funny sitting here now saying that,
right?
Because 3 of my top groups, actually, technically, if you count Dreamcatcher, 4 have done some type of because Minx,
yeah, back when they were Minx, used to be Minx.
4 out of my top 5 groups. And has done a school concept. The only one that hasn't is a boy group. You know, because Ace hasn't done that. Except they did a hot pants concept. I don't know which was worse, to be honest.
Just wait, it's coming.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. But you know, it's also a lot more uncommon for boy groups to do a school concept.
Yeah.
Than girls.
I mean,
I'd say like the best one I saw was well, for me personally was EXO.
Yeah, EXO had their phase.
I know
they
BTS had their phase too.
BTS had a whole era dedicated to school.
I was about to say like didn't that span like three albums?
Yeah,
or 2 albums.
Yeah. Yep. It was like 2 or 3 albums that spanned the whole school concept.
So it's not. I mean, it's very much not the whole pure school concept, but you know, still a school concept.
Oh yeah. I feel you in there. So, Man, so like, yeah, I guess for me, like, it's really the only time my opinions really change has been when songs start to get outdated. So, because oh, you know what? I just remembered Luna and Cosmic Girls.
Oh,
Yeah, because like I was neutral towards that kind of cosmic, otherworldly,
the ethereal.
concept. Yeah. And I don't know, like I came around to it. I forgot. I think it was Cosmic Girls that finally brought me around to it. So
I thought it was.
I remember-
I thought it was Luna's Butterfly.
no, so Luna's Butterfly, I was neutral to it at the time because it wasn't my style. Like I had a lot of respect for the concept of what the music video was about and what the song was about. I very much remember saying that. But it wasn't until like maybe a month or two after when I started like really getting into Cosmic Girls that like, you know what, Butterfly's really good.
I remember when you first showed me "Oh My Girl," and I was like, yeah, they're okay. They're not the group for me though. Little did I know there was an "Oh My Girl" stan in me.
Unfortunately, I was the same way. But my first experience was from this guy's from when he went to the concert.
Well, even before that, because
I didn't listen. You didn't give me any music videos. You just sent me a bunch of pictures of Yua, and
That sounds just like you.
yeah.
So this is.
It wasn't just me. It was like three of us in a group chat that was spamming the. It would be like a US or Oh My Girl spamming hour in a group chat, and it would just be like, I remember he came back from work one night, and he's like, bro, I just came back to like 70 something pictures of like Yua and Arin, and yeah, like it was.
Okay, it was like 90% Yua, maybe 2% all the other members, like for each member.
It was glorious.
What I also find hilarious is I had already chosen my bias and bias wrecker in Oh My Girl, and then the nonstop happens. So this is my first comeback. And it's both my bias and my bias wrecker being promoted heavily, and I cracked up laughing. I was like, there's no way that happened.
Oh, that episode of Weekly Idol was glorious too.
Oh man, if you have not watched Oh My Girl's Weekly Idol for Nonstop, you have to go watch it. It's hilarious. It's like a different group.
For Yua. She was on an island for the entire episode.
And then literally on an island at the end of the episode.
Okay. Yeah.
So
were there any of them that you had
an
an opposite opinion on? Like for songs or groups? Where like you initially really liked them?
You liked it?
And then
but then afterwards it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So I know Nick had brought up Fun. That was one for you.
Yeah.
For myself, I personally can't think of any. Like, the song's not as weird as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Because like even with Girls' Generation's I Got a Boy, like I like when I first heard it, like I knew that the only reason why I liked it was because of my bias, towards Girls' Generation. But within the year, the song fell off my playlist.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still have I Got a Boy on my playlist. You guys can give me as much flack as you want. I'm still gonna listen to it. But for me,
you're just confirming the fact that you're a boomer. So.
But for me, I want to say "Do Do Do Do" from Blackpink.
From Blackpink.
Yeah. Like, I really liked the song when it initially came out. I know, because we didn't talk about it. I think it released before we even started this podcast.
Yeah, it was like a couple months before.
Yeah, like, I remember us and a bunch of other of us were, like, really hyped on that song.
Yeah, didn't we stay up in the group chat for it?
Yeah, we talked about it for, like, almost 24 hours, dude.
Well, I do recall a point where you were starting to where your interest in Blackpink was starting to wane, and I think that's where it coincides was when your interest in the group was kind of starting to fade.
Well, like I still like the other songs like Fire and whatnot, but when it comes to Do, I listened to it so much that I kind of got burnt out on it. Like,
did you say yeah one of your friends like was also constantly playing it?
Yeah.
At work or something.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just got completely burnt out on it. I'm like, okay, I think I'm done with this song now. And unfortunately, especially at the time, Do came out, they didn't have much of a discography. So,
yeah, they still don't really have much of a discography.
As of this recording, they don't. But it not having many songs to play and repeating the same song over and over kind of burns you out sometimes.
Yeah.
So.
I think a lot of the I used to like this and now I don't comes from kind of what you guys were talking about before with just my taste changing, so I don't like groups anymore, certain groups. I've talked about it before, how there's a lot of groups that I'm an ex-stan of, you know, and that's either because the group's sound has changed, or just my tastes have changed, which happens over time.
Right.
Blackpink is a great example. I was actually in Blink Amino and like, you know, doing a bunch of stuff over there. I even at one point was like a curator and stuff. And then just like eventually, my taste just changed. I didn't like that kind of style that they were going for.
Right.
Another one is, and don't come for me, I'm a former ARMY. And that has to do a lot with BTS's music style changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about it before, how BTS is now incorporating a lot of American influence since they've become, you know, like global artists like that.
Yeah.
And if I go back to like we talked about before, their School series and stuff like that, I like that stuff a lot more.
Yeah, because
you know, Butorene, stuff like that.
The bulk of my BTS songs in my playlist are from 2014 to 2017. I think I have like one song from 2018.
Yep, so. Pretty much same. You know, because like I listen to like Idol now. I mean, I like from the recent stuff. I like Fake Love.
Yeah.
But like, I don't. Idol is not really for me. You know, so like their recent stuff, I just haven't really liked. So I guess in that sense, Eyes One is pretty much the same way. I liked La Vie en Rose, and I was okay with Violetta.
Okay.
But after that, it was really just kind of like, you know, especially I noticed it a lot more as I got into liking Nugu artists, like kind of like where my tastes really lie, because like when you get into a mass amount of artists like that all have slightly very different styles to make them unique, you really find out where your lines are, where you draw lines in songs. I really used to like Taeyeon's Fine. I don't like it anymore.
Oh really? I remember.
Yeah, I don't like that song. I don't think I've ever talked about it. But yeah, I used to play that song a lot. But I'm pretty sure that song also came out before ISN was a thing.
Yeah, because the first Taeyeon song that we talked about on the show was what is that, Voice?
Which I still really love. I remember raving about that song. But I have to listen to it sparingly now, just because if I burn myself out on it, then I won't like it anymore.
I think that might be why we can also like become disinterested in certain songs, is because if we what I've noticed is when it comes to us, we can easily get burnt out by certain songs or certain concepts, styles.
I think that definitely comes from being a high intake, having a high intake of K-pop.
Oh yeah.
You know, like when I'm sure you guys remember when Girl Crush was basically the only option.
Yeah.
Like that's still a trauma for me. That is still a trauma for me.
Yeah. Like you know, like when there was if new stands won't know this, but there was a time when Girl Crush was the only thing that was coming out. Like, you know, this group that's usually known for their, I don't know, their pure ethereal concept is coming out. Oh, look, it's Girl Crush.
Yeah. April.
Like,
April.
April.
Like, bro, like for 2018 summer, like, yeah, it was like a barely like Girl Crush, but it was a different, such a different style.
Yeah,
like,
and
they
so
were one
like
of the first ones I noticed.
literally every group was doing something Girl Crush, you know?
Yeah.
And that's because it was the hit thing at the time. Blackpink had kind of ushered that in, or helped usher that in.
Right.
And it was just such a saturation.
Yeah, but there was such an oversaturation, and because we're such high intake, we were hearing Girl Crush song after Girl Crush song after Girl Crush. Even actual Korean artists, not even idols, artists were doing Girl Crush songs.
Yeah,
it's like this person only sings ballads, but they're singing a Girl Crush song.
Right.
Like, it eventually got so oversaturated that like I remember talking to Jiyoon about it. It was like, I don't want to listen to K-pop. Like, I legitimately don't want to listen to K-pop.
Yeah, it got pretty bad.
It was so painful. I remember too, like we really didn't look forward to recording those weekends.
No,
like,
yeah.
for like what, almost a full month of just us just like trudging through.
Yeah, because it seriously just felt like we were saying the same things every week, and we pretty much were.
And it was hard to find something different enough to talk about that
we
like captured interest.
We started talking about like a ton of Nugu idols because there were some artists that were still not doing Girl Crush.
Yeah. Well, it makes it pretty hard. Is like all we did was say the same thing for every artist, and that just doesn't work. It's like, oh yeah, it's Girl Crushy, it's dark, you know, it fits them. Yeah.
And thankfully now it's a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now we're back into our regularly scheduled variety.
And you know, like when we had that funk period during earlier this year, I was like, I was keeping a close tab on that. I'm like, okay, like at some point we're gonna like.
Yeah, it didn't explode like I thought it was.
And I'm thankful for it. I really am.
I
really am. You know,
I would have been really sad, you know, and that's another thing that I originally didn't like when I joined ISN that I like a lot more is funk and blues.
Oh yeah. Bro.
I remember talking to you about it, June.
Yeah.
And I was literally just like, yeah, it's just not my style. Like, I don't like it. Chord progression is all over the place. And don't get me wrong, chord progression is still all over the place. But that's its own style. That's kind of how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was trying to tell you, but then you just didn't like.
I didn't grasp it until I started listening to a lot, and especially when I started listening to Gen 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it kind of clicked. I was like, yeah, but it's kind of its own style. Like, they make it work. Like, not everything in music is about chord progression.
Right.
A lot of music is about feel. But like when I joined, But when you're taught music theory your entire life, that's not how you're taught. You're taught that chord progression is everything.
Unless when you're taught music theory from that family of genres, because that's a big part of jazz, blues, funk, soul. Like that family of music. Like like when you if you're taught music theory within that family of music, then it kind of has more context for you. So
yeah, and I was never taught using blues or jazz or any of that. I was taught using American music, American pop music.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which, as I've talked about before, it has 3 chords in the entire song.
Yeah, because I was about to say that's a travesty, because a big part of American music over the past 100 years has been jazz, blues, funk and soul,
but
and then
a lot of
way into pop. So,
but a lot of music theory teachers now are teaching based on American pop, and
which is really a shame.
But what's funny is I've seen on like Twitter and YouTube and stuff, a lot of music theory teachers now are using other countries' music. Like some of them are even using K-pop to teach music theory, because K-pop is so different. There is no right or wrong way to use chords. That's how it's been designed,
Okay, that's fascinating.
Yeah. So, it really has been interesting to watch your growth, because Aura's been pretty stable for pretty much the entire time I've known him.
Old and hating
with
K-pop.
his taste.
Ow.
But I mean, that's not to say that there is no growth. You know, I have noticed, like, you know, he's picking up more on musical concepts, which is really cool. Like every time he mentions something about like some kind of musical concept, there's like a little spark of joy in me, like, wow, you know, like just seeing that. So, but with you, like, there's definitely been like a lot that we've seen over the past year and a half.
I mean, when I first met Jihoon, he was all about groups, and I've noticed he's progressed more towards soloists.
He's a lot about soloists now.
Yeah, he's going more towards soloists.
You also used to not be very, like, you used to also, like, be consistently not into rap, like, heavy, like, hip-hop concepts.
So, it's seasonal for me, right? Because from way back in the day, one of my old artists was a soloist.
Yeah.
Actually, two soloists. You know, so this is, like, way back when. And I had a period where I really loved hip-hop. But at the same time, like later on, I had a period where I really loved rock. So it's all seasonal for me.
Yeah.
I'm just getting back to the season of hip hop. I'm getting back to the season of
because I've noticed with like I was really shocked when you liked T.O.P. Gang.
Oh, bro, T.O.P. Gang.
Because I was raving about it, but I was like, oh, Jihoon's just gonna hate this. And then you were like, no, I am vibing. I was like, is this Jihoon?
Well, so what made T.O.P. Gang different, though, from a lot of the hip-hop songs that I listened to last year, they didn't have a lot of that crunk style.
Yeah.
You know, it was very focused on actual rap delivery.
Right.
Versus, like,
yeah, because that's true, because you like Stray Kids, too.
Yep.
And
their rap deliveries are fantastic. I loved it. So...
another thing I've noticed is you do usually consistently like Nugu hip hop groups.
Yeah, because they're more into the pure hip hop than if you remember back in American pop history, right, where for a while American pop was hip hop.
Yeah.
But it was that certain style of pop hip hop where it's like, you know, it's meant for, you know, easy hooks, easy to learn lyrics, all catchy. Who cares about what the lyrics are actually about? Who cares about the flows? Who cares about the deliveries, right? And that's more in line with underground hip hop, you know, the American underground hip hop scene. So for me, it's a lot like that. You know, you have for the Nugu hip hop artists in K-pop, it's like the underground versus the mainstream stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think definitely we've all grown as we've intake. You know, it's like you do anything, you get experience for it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And it even comes to like listening to music, you know, or listening to people like us talk about music.
Right.
Yeah, because you know, that was one of the things that for me personally, with starting this whole podcast was like, I wanted to know more about why I liked certain songs, certain concepts, certain music videos, certain styles, and we do so, and we're a very analytical bunch.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
and
yeah, when you first invited me to do this podcast, I was like, I got time to kill. Why not?
What's funny is I remember joining, and the first thought in my head was, okay, but what if they already have somebody that is like, that knows a lot about the music, about the music's aspect side, and like what if they have somebody that like already knows? So I don't want to be like tracking over them. And me and Aura the other day watched our first videos, and just seeing how awkward I was, because I was trying to gauge, you know, what you guys know. I didn't want to be over your guys' head. I didn't want to start out talking about chord progressions and analytical music theory and stuff, and everybody, not to poke fun, but everybody kind of being like Aura's level, you know?
Yeah.
I've kind of accepted the fact that 90% of your whatever you say will go.
Whatever I say goes over your head. Yeah. You're catching on. It used to be 99%. So.
Ow. But hey, we are at a point where we can actually joke and make fun of my stupidity in this subject.
I mean, and that's just a normal part of any group or any.
And I mean, it's
group, so.
It's the same for like my film knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of those people that calls every single camera movement a pan. It doesn't matter if you're actually panning.
Oh yeah, no.
It's a pan.
No.
A pan, a sweep, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which way, in, out, none of it. It's a pan.
Yeah, no.
And I know that's wrong. I have friends in photography that tell me that's wrong, but it doesn't matter.
Which, by the way, whenever you bring up like film stuff, like that's another thing too that brings like a little spark of joy. Like, yeah, you know, seeing you guys like kind of reach out of your comfort zones. Like, I love that stuff.
With me, it's a little rough though, because there's a lot of stuff I can't talk about. Because like, you know, obviously I don't see colors the same way as everyone else.
Right.
So colors always inflict a mood. You know, they inflict a mood inside of people.
Right.
It's just, but it doesn't do that for colorblind people. It never does that for colorblind people. I mean, like, you know, people see, like, if people see blue, it can inflict a feeling of sadness.
Right.
For colorblind people, if they, like, especially for me, if I see blue, I'm like, wow, I can see that. Like, wow, that's vibrant. Wow.
Yeah. Which is something that I found very interesting in, as I've gotten to know you and as I've gotten to know how you kind of intake K-pop. I've also noticed that when it comes to MVs, like, you don't get the same visual like cues that most other people that I feel like would, because of your colorblindness, and I find that so fascinating.
Like I'll pick up body language cues. I'll pick up, you know, all that stuff like normal people. But if it comes to color cues,
right, it's
rough. Like I know there were times where I've asked, like, you know, is there a reason do these two colors clash at all inside this video, you know, or like, because I'll know, like, if there's a song with really, really bright colors, especially a lot of pink, I literally can't watch it. It's like someone took a highlighter and drew over my monitor.
Which is a lot of cutesy groups too.
Yeah, I know.
It's unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate sometimes.
Considering how much you love that style too. Like,
I know. I don't ask questions. I think a lot of the reason is why, like, the cutesy groups that I do don't go overboard. Like, you know, GFriend SIS, they don't go overboard with it.
I have noticed that. Like
even non-stop hurts to watch sometimes.
Yeah, because I want to say, like, and even like what was it? When you first joined us, like, you're really more into like the harder stuff, the real crush stuff, because they don't really use pink.
They use
unless you're Blackpink.
Yeah,
they do use
that could have
colors.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I've started watching. So I actually have colorblind glasses.
Oh.
And I've started watching MVs with that, but I find that it doesn't matter because, like, in my brain, colors don't translate the same way. You know, like, just because I can see potentially see the correct color doesn't mean it's gonna automatically translate like normal. You know?
Right.
And so, like, that's definitely a little bit of a block when it comes to like, that's why a lot of the time I sit kind of quiet when you guys talk about, you know, the MV, is unless you're talking about like body language cues or stuff like that. If you're talking about colors, it's really difficult. Especially like fashion. Fashion is rough.
Okay. There are some times where fashion is even rough for normal people.
Right.
I think I'm.
Yeah, I don't assume like it's all roses over there.
Yeah.
But I think definitely it's interesting. One thing I have noticed is colorblind people are really, really good at picking up shade differences.
Yeah.
So it's like, for example, if you go blind, your other senses start getting better to compensate for the loss of eyesight. It's basically the same thing. I can't see all the colors, so my eyes have gotten better at differentiating shades.
Yeah, the contrast. Yep, you have more sensitivity towards contrast and colors.
Yeah, and so there'll be times where I'll show an MV to somebody, and I'll be like, and I'll point at two colors. I'll be like, you see that? Why are they different shades? Like, why couldn't you just blend them together? Like, why? Because there's a line sometimes where, like, you know, they didn't get the shade exactly right in the background or something while they were editing.
And part of that too could also be video compression. So,
Yeah.
'cause, that's a big part of the compression is they contrast. They'll step it, so
Yeah.
sometimes you can see those steps.
And like I'll point to it and they'll be like, I don't see what you're talking about at all.
Right.
And I'm like, how do you not see that? And then I've come to realize that it's because I can see shades better than, like, if you're looking at pink versus pink, to you guys it kind of blends together. But since I'm looking at shades of muted yellow,
Right.
It's a personal. That's a personal pet peeve of mine. Like, is the color stepping?
yeah,
So like, because when it's supposed to look like a smooth gradient from like
Mm-hmm.
pink to white, but then I can see like where there's like the steps where it goes from this color to like a hard transition to that color. I hate that. So because on my TVs they're color calibrated.
yeah,
Oh.
I actually have a Spider color calibrator. And you
Yeah.
put it on the screen and it analyzes and builds a profile. So like,
yeah.
I
I
can see that.
definitely understand what you mean, because like my main monitor I use is a gaming monitor, so it's using a TN panel, not an IPS panel.
mm,
And the difference is TNs have really bad blacks.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they usually end up with they call it crushed blacks. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I could see all the color stepping from when like there's a gradient going on.
yeah, I hate that. I really
But
do.
on my other two monitors here, which you guys have never seen, they're full IPS and they're new, which means they're new IPS.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another reason why I get turned off towards certain like new groups music videos, because like they'll have a lot of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And definitely being colorblind helps me get past that. It also makes it really easy when choosing monitors, because they're like, oh, well, this monitor has better color correction than this one. I was like, that one's cheaper. I'll go with that one.
yeah, true.
It's like colors
Yeah.
don't matter to me anyway.
Yeah. So, well then, man, you got anything else to tack on for this subject? We went on quite a few
I mean,
tangents.
it it makes it so interesting knowing, because we all have very different setups too. Like Jihoon, I know you have like some of the highest quality stuff, far be it from mine, because I have some basic stuff. I'm using speakers from 1996.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. So because like my setup is entirely meant to best reproduce the original source material
Exactly.
for both the video and the audio.
And I think it also does change like the quality of how
What
you're
we're
listening to it, how you're intaking the
Yes.
content.
Yes.
Um,
That's why, because like I know, because like if you guys notice, right, I harp a lot on like mixing and mastering, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
that stuff becomes really apparent. you know,
Right.
with
And
the
it's very
high-fidelity
apparent
setup.
also when MVs are tailored towards low quality like speakers or headphones.
right.
Yes. 'Cause we
Especially you
talked
can
about that
especially hear
before.
that. Yeah, you can especially hear that when you have high quality headphones or high quality speakers,
Yeah.
because it just the audio just doesn't sound right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just sounds awful. And like, well, because was it Buenos Aires or Vampire? We were talking like, man, it sounds like
Vampire.
we said like, yeah, I play this on my phone and off my speakerphone, it sounds all right. But like
Yeah.
on my actual,
I remember
speakers, it was
I
awful.
liked it if I played it off my phone speaker,
Right.
Yeah.
but when I played it in my headphones, I just didn't like it. And it was rough translating. And then you talked about how a lot of J-pop is usually made for like either like phone speakers or lower quality speakers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then it clicked. I was like, that makes sense why I like it on my phone.
Yeah.
That,
And that's why
that might be another reason why I've started to find it a little bit more catchier, because I am using lower quality equipment than either of you
Right.
two.
One day if we ever meet Aura, we'll have to give him like a full high quality setup and
I-
then play Vampire for him.
So I really hesitate on that, because like, you know, like whenever someone ever asks me about that kind of stuff and I know they have a budget set up, I'm like, do I really want to set this person onto this path of like,
Yeah,
spending
it can be rough.
$8,000?
It,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Like, especially when I know they can't afford to spend $8,000 to, you know, because like it for me, like once I started that journey, there's no going back. Like I can't go back to a
Yeah,
budget set
like
anymore.
I used to play on like really bad headphones, and then I ended up getting a really nice pair, and now I'm using really high quality headphones. You can see right here, I've got a full like 7.1 surround for my bed,
and then like listening to actual uncompressed music as well. Like
FLAC audio is amazing,
stream, right?
I mean, okay. I'm also using really bad headsets because these come from like with a phone. These are the basic phone headphones.
Yeah, those are like from an iPhone.
Yeah. So it's not the whole like super expensive stuff.
Right.
So you guys probably sound different to each other because like different quality equipment.
Yeah. And I think that's another reason why I kind of got off of American music as well, because it started like around 2009 or so that they started optimizing. The sound engineers started optimizing the music to sound better for low grade equipment. So a lot like how J-pop does, but they kind of, whereas J-pop they push up the highs, and American pop they push up the bass.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and
they mix and master for all devices is what they call it.
Yeah.
It's because you don't know who's listening to it. They could be listening to it on a phone, or they could be listening to it on Dolby Atmos 7.1 true surround. You know?
And that's what the original meaning of when they say reference monitors for speakers. The original meaning of that was, this is supposed to represent what the common American household would have in their audio setup.
Yep.
So, but now people would think that means like the highest grade speaker, which was not what it originally meant. So.
Right.
And I mean, you can also tell that from MVs and whatever the videos aspect. That's why I'm not a big fan of American music videos, is because there's not much going on. There's too much that I feel like.
Yeah, like here I am, dressed all gaudy, throwing money at all these scantily clad women.
That, and sometimes it's not just that. It's like the camera movement or something else is trying to subsidize what should be there, because there should be some kind of focus. And which, when it comes to music videos, I believe the artist should be the focus. But when you're subsidizing it with other things like side characters, or like a side character should not make up the focus of the music video. They're a side character for a reason. It's like what if you're watching Avengers, but you're watching the side characters, like the mom and dad and the kid from down the street, while the Avengers are fighting Ultron in the back. Why are you focusing on the family instead of the like actual characters? And that's something that I absolutely do not like. Or if like special effects subsidize what should be done, where like if the artist is supposed to have some kind of charismatic aura, if there's too many close-ups, expositions, explosions, to try to subsidize that, I can't stand. And that's something that's turned me away too. And I'm not saying this is just American artists. It has happened to some K-pop artists too. So. Oh yeah,
you definitely seen it K-pop.
Idol being one of them. I'm sorry. When it comes to BTS's Idol, it's pretty distracting, and I still don't understand that MV at all. But then there's it wasn't Black Swan, was it? With all the characters and no, was it no? It was BTS's latest release that we talked about. It was right after the Black Swan, I think. Or it was Black Swan.
No, the one where they had the performance video out in the desert with all the people dressed in black.
Yeah, that.
Post-apocalyptic year.
Yeah. The music video for that song.
Oh wait, yeah, the music video for that song. They had an actual music video,
Yeah.
and they already had like Pride Rock in there. Okay, I remember now.
Pride Rock. We still call it Pride Rock.
But we all were thinking it.
Yeah.
It was Pride Rock.
I'm pretty sure even when they were making the video, they all were probably calling it Pride Rock.
But no. That focused on BTS so well. If Idol had the kind of quality that music video had, I would have actually appreciated it a little bit more. But unfortunately, I don't.
But wasn't Idol one of their earlier works that were where it was more Western focused?
I think it was,
Somewhat. It was kind of in the middle.
It was kind of like a transitionary period.
No. Fake Love was transitionary.
Yeah.
Was it Big Love?
Yeah.
Fake Love was transitionary. It was still
Okay.
mostly Korean in music, but it had like American elements. Idol was much more American than, because Idol even featured Halsey, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that wasn't Idol. That was
No, Idol featured Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Idol was already much more American.
I was about to say, because I was thinking like maybe they were still trying to kind of find their groove, I guess, for the American market. So with Idol.
Potentially, but I don't think so. I think they'd already found it by that point if they're already getting Nicki Minaj to feature on the track.
Yeah. So.
All right.
So.
Do you guys think it's about time to wrap up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good time to wrap this up.
All right, time to rep our sponsor once more.
Yeah. Mine's all the way at the other side of the room, so I can't do it.
I kept it within arm's reach. I couldn't actually chuck it away. I can't just eat the stuff.
So,
Our sponsor today is Honey Butter Mixed Nuts. Not actually sponsored.
but they should.
# ad.
But buy it anyways.
Yeah, contact us for real. Like, you know, let's get in touch.
Send us all honey butter nuts.
Yeah, please.
Pretty please.
All right. I guess I'll do the outro.
All right.
Thank you for watching. This has been ISN Talks. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell icon if you want to see when we upload in the future. Join our Discord. We talk there pretty frequently. We have a bunch of people there that we talk to. And we have a Twitter. Make sure you go follow that. Yeah, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.